Okay, well, I clicked the this thing. I've been talking to myself this whole time. I was wondering why nobody was here. Oh, yeah, I was. Well, that's good. So let's start all over then. uh, what I'm working on is improving the combat mechanics. So we have here. Hey, I'm live again. I'm howdy, Simon. I'm gonna be going live regularly, hopefully, while I work on this game. Yeah, I was for 40 whole minutes talking to myself. Or 30, really, give or take. I started a little later. It's like 12:05. Yeah, talking to myself. It's embarrassing, but it'd be alright. I clicked it, and I was like, why is it not doing that? I clicked it again, and it still wouldn't. I mean, look, it did something. I could change the colors, the little go live button. But then, whatever. It'd be alright. So, we have this game. And so, this is the overworld representation right now. Just, it's gonna look like the battle scene because it's exactly like the battle scene pretty much. Except for this is our character. They can't fight, they can't do anything, they just move around right now. This is an overworld enemy. When we bump into this enemy, we go into a transition, and they all die because that was not expected. We go into this battle transition. We can do our battle, and then it's not implemented yet. But the idea is when all the enemies die, the screen fades out. Here's here's the loot you got, your experience and all that fun stuff. Howdy, Dan. And then you'll get us back to the overworld. So that's for why those people are dying. That's really weird. Let me remove this. What I'm working on for the past 20 minutes or so was enemy avoidance. Once we get these enemies moving without dying for weird reasons, you'll see that they clump up together. So we're just trying to avoid that. I remember, McNoob. I remember. Let's see. Where was I doing that at? Battle character. Move towards. There. We're going to get rid of this. Because everything was working fine until actually started. There we go. So there. You'll see they clump up together. So right now our goal is to prevent that. Which is what I'm writing here. And then for some reason they just... Very curious as to why. I'm going to remove this. I haven't added anything that would kill them. Okay, it's just... Unless the avoidance is pushing them toward each other. Tell you what we're going to do. I mean, it was instant, though. I mean, slowing the engine down I don't think would make that much of a difference. Well, let me go over the avoidance so that y'all are not confused that might be watching. So, avoidance. What we have here is this is going to be the direction that we want to move into. We added the texture onto onto every character because our players are going to want to avoid each other as well because they'll have AIs on them. And in this circle, they'll detect the nearby people around them. And so we use that to get the bodies. And then we're going to iterate through every collision that we have there. And we only want this to check if it's not ourselves, if it is a character, and that character is one of our own. So like enemies check for enemies, players check for players. They avoid each other, that is. And then once we get that, we get a direction, hopefully, away from the players, or away from each other. Normalized, added up, so that we can average it out later. But for some reason, this isn't working. If I'm guessing, but they wouldn't bump into each other. No, that doesn't make sense either. What I'm going to do then, so I'm going to see what this variable is. It's infinity. Okay, that would be why. Because count. Okay. This would do it. So we're dividing by count whenever counting to 0 instead of crashing, which I would have expected it to have done, which is interesting. It yeah, it gave us infinity. So why don't you make the enemy have static body 2D so that they can collide and just can't enter each other's body? Because well, for one, you wouldn't use the static, you'd use the kinematic body. Static body you only use for things that don't move. And two, I don't want them to not move into each other. I don't want them to not have that option. I just want them to prefer not to. You know, so if they were to collide, just sort of start separating out. And plus, it's, you know, well, I suppose it's collision checking either way, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you get a lot of weirdness with that too, like a bunch of the sliding up against each other. I don't want that. I just want them to separate as best they can. This is called Boyd behavior or something like that. That would be in bird-like objects or something. So birds, when they're flying, they have these small behaviors that they perform, such as going toward target but avoiding each other, you know, not hitting the ground, that fun stuff. And so we have this for this, but there's other stuff we'll be adding later on, like avoiding walls, you know, avoiding traps if we add traps. All right, so avoidance. If count is greater than 0, it's the only time we want to do that. Otherwise, avoidance should be vector 2.0. And I was putting this here to draw the avoidance because I wanted to make sure it worked proper. It seems to be working. Yeah. Okay. The best way to test that is with a bunch of enemies. So I'm also going to lower this circle a bit. We don't want them to avoid each other so much. They should be standing 6 feet apart, but these are goblins. They don't care. Howdy, Light C. Light 1C3. I don't know why I just focused on the C there. I like it though. Light C. Sunny D for some reason. That comes to mind. What? Okay. So, battle arena. Let's get a few of these guys going. See how well they avoid each other. Or you can make if everlast body get node. What do you mean by that? What would that do? I mean, it's working, as you can see. Yeah, they avoid each other. That's all I wanted. I think that worked perfectly. Now, it's not perfect. You will have some quirks with this. Then, we don't want to adjust their position. Yeah, I think this is good. Hello, dude, I love your tutorial. You're awesome. Thanks for the share. Well, thank you for watching, buddy. There's other behaviors we could add here, like the, like for now, they're going to, oops, we're not in the battle arena. So like right here, they don't care about that wall. We could add behaviors in there to avoid that wall though, and make them go around it. It's actually not too bad. Okay. I mean by your node, your node that overlaps with this, which is the, that's what I'm doing. I've got this guy, the neighbor detector, and when they detect each other, they move away. So what that does, get rid of that. Get rid of this, which is debug stuff right before I realized I wasn't streaming. Alright, now, the goal of today's stream is to improve combat. Just improve the overall feel. Now that I've added that separation, this isn't too bad. Now we're not going to throw in that many enemies, so let's be a little more realistic. At most, we'll probably have around 5 enemies. I'm still thinking about how I want this battle system to go. I want it to be action based with the strategic properties of a turn based game. Not turn based, but like, well, yeah, like one of the menu combats where you have a party and everything. Um, but I wanted to have the action feel to it. So something I've never done before is trying to merge these two. It'll be interesting. I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about it. Uh, but yeah, we'll figure that out. So we have the basic attack right now. Let us add in our combat abilities and see how that feels because we'll be using those a lot. The combat system is going to be based heavily on abilities, I think. Will I make a turn-based battle as well? Not for this one. I would like to make a turn-based battle. I have an ideas for a turn-based battle game that I might do if one I either don't like this one or two after I finish this one. So I've got two ideas right now in my head, and I would decided to go with this one. And if this one don't work out, I'll go with the other one. But I don't know. I think this might be all right. I think it's an interesting concept. It's not mind blowing, but I mean, I hopefully will be my first finished game. I'm not trying to, you know, blow anybody's minds. I'm just trying to make a game. Oh yeah, abilities. So let's get our abilities going. I've been thinking about how I want to map the abilities, and I'm not quite sure. One option would be to hotkey it to the number buttons, but I want it to be easy to use in combat. Howdy. Uh, yeah. I want it to be easy to use in combat, so I don't want it to be like you have to stop moving to move your hand off of your W key or whatever to hit the whatever number. Like, and so what comes to mind to fix that would be the shift and control and alt keys. Those are keys that me personally I can comfortably use while still moving. So what I'm thinking maybe is to have it like a toggle system. Not a toggle, like a switch. Like if I'm holding shift and I attack, I'll do one ability. If I hold shift and I right click, I'll do another one. Control shift click, control right click. Maybe. I don't like it. It sounds convoluted, but we'll test it out. We'll prototype it and see how that feels. And one thing that comes to mind, I don't remember exactly how they did it because it's been a while since I played it, but Dragon's Dogma had a system, something like that, to where you'd have two weapon sets or two ability sets or whatever. And what depending on what button you held, pressed plus another button, sort of determined that one. Determined which ability you would use. So what we're gonna play with that and see how that feels. So we're gonna need a modifier. So let's say ability modifier A. Why not use the right click for the skill and the scroll wheel to select? I want you to be able to select really quickly, like instantly, like not having to scroll and sort of through a list to pick which one you want. Like whenever I played Dragon's Dogma, I could, chain one attack after another really easy without having to think about it, without having to, because I felt like it's because I didn't have to actually select. When we do this controller, it'll be easier because the abilities will probably be mapped to the 4 buttons up here. The keyboard, because then it's just, press the button, go. But I mean, yeah. Well, let's try it. Let's try it and see what I think. So ability modifier B. I see, makes sense to you. I think. I mean, we'll try both ways. We will certainly try. I will try every way I can think of to sort of see what feels better. And then I'll probably put out I'll get some testers later and see what they think. So we're going to be trying many different ways. I don't want to, you never want to get settled in one way thinking that's the way to go when odds are it's usually not going to be. So, playable character, which is our main character here. We have the attack. Now, Okay. Okay, we should be able to just check here. So we'll say if input dot is action pressed, ability modifier A. Let's go with not first since it's the basic attack. Else we will okay. No, we have not there. We want to do our ability. So we'll just say perform ability. We'll have them numbered. This is probably not the way we'll do it. At the end, when it's all said and done, we're just gonna hard code it in for right now. Just sort of get it in there, see how it is. Let's see. You could add both so that the noobs use the scroll wheel, and as they become pro, they will realize the instant switch is better. Kind of like Minecraft. It's a good point. It's actually a really good point, Artendi. I like that. I might try that. What about showing an UI to select the skill, like The Witcher, or like a radial menu? I still think I want it to be quicker. Radial menus for me, they're not as quick as I want this to be. For me personally, to navigate them. But I do like that. We could slow down time, pull up a menu. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a list of possibilities to design. So ability, what would we call this? Key, hotkey. So we have the one method, bullet point. We have this method, which is modifier key. And then we have, what was yours? Scroll wheel. Select, and then radial menu with slow-mo. And just keep a track of that. We'll try them all out. See which one feels best. So for this one, let's say if weapon not equal to, you know what? Part of me wants to, no. Not equal, no. I was gonna put this up there since I'll be doing it a lot, but no, it should be alright. Because we might have enemies that attack without a weapon. Later, bud. Thank you for dropping by the stream. So if weapon is not equal null, then we want to start our cooldown like normal. Now we're probably, like, this is going to be really similar to this method here. It's just calling a different method. We might even combine our attack to this method, but I'm not worried about it right now. We'll say weapon. Let's see. This is where we'll throw in a match statement. So match IDX. Let's get our enumerator going. So abilities. We made whirlwind. So what was it? Jab, stab, whirlwind, flurry, and shockwave. Shockwave. So abilities. Whirlwind. Yeah. Abilities dot flurry. This will be, yeah. And then abilities dot shockwave. Now, we'll only have Whirlwind implemented for now. So if we go, whoop, no, did I not do a key for it? I bet I didn't do a key for it. Okay. So this one will be shift. This one will be control. So if we push shift and attack, we should do the, there we go. Okay. Howdy, Evan. Welcome to the stream. I think I'm going to bump this out for grouping reasons. Whoops. Do that. And we'll move this outside as well. There. Wait, we need, no. That's confusing, actually. Take it back. Okay. I don't see a way to do that without being confusing. I'm already... Okay. We need a secondary attack button. This will be our right click. We'll also have to do this separately for based on if we're using keyboard or joypad input because it's very different. I just realized that this, maybe, well, no, we're good. Secondary attack. And this will be the right mouse button. And so we'll say else if event dot is action pressed. Secondary attack. And our cooldown is stopped. Now this will, let's see. For consistency reason, we'll bring this back up here. I think that might have been one of the confusing factors. And so we'll say here if input is action pressed. Ability modifier A. Wait, yeah. So this is for shift and right click. This will be our flurry. Yeah. Perform ability for, how we hard coded that one earlier. Let's go ahead and fix that. Howdy, Beans. Howdy, Michael Jackson. Alright. So if we push shift, we should do the flare now. Okay, cool. It is confusing though. And then we'll do control right click for shockwave. Okay, I think it needs for us to pass down ourselves. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, I never did fix the shockwave doing the instant kill thing. So shockwave is very powerful right now. Okay. Huh. Now, what else can we do to improve the feel of combat? Well, that's what unexpected. Hmm. It's a hell of a pummel bash. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to figure out why. Oh, we could add some dodging. Let's do that. So, for that, I think we might need a state machine for our player. It's not, it won't be difficult because we don't have much of a state control as it is. We just have basic movement. Mobility-based abilities, yes. I would like that. Actually, that's a really good one. Um, like one of my favorite abilities in like Dragon's Dogma would be like there's a something the assassin has where you charge at him like really quickly, like, and you swing your sword out as you do it, and it sort of knocks him back and stuff. That would be cool. However, I'm gonna jot that one down. I don't want to do more abilities right now, but I would like to add something like that. Uh, Something like that. And we will certainly add that into the game. And some other types of abilities like I said, you're gonna have different party members with you here, and so maybe you're playing as a tank character. You could have some aggro type abilities where you get their attention. You know, I really enjoy Dragon Dogma's combat system, to where how like the party sort of works together, like they enhance each other. So it might be something we sort of put into our game as well. You could also use doing a defensive attack like damage area in front and dash backwards. Yeah, that would be cool. Uh, that was also one of the ones I like to use as an assassin in that game. Oh, oops, right here. So attack and retreat. Alright. The only things about dodging abilities that gets me sometimes is the player will use them to cheese the game. So I agree that mobility-based abilities should motivate. That's one of the difficult things is to is how do you do dodging and stuff to make it responsive while not making it so that the player can use it to get out of everything. It's tricky, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like because you have to find a really good balance between after you dodge, like how long until you can dodge again. How do you tell that to the player? You know, because the player probably expects to be able to dodge again. One way you could do that is with a stamina system. Like consider, I think The Witcher 3 had this where you can only dodge so many times before you get too tired to dodge. So that's something we could probably look into as well. Because we will have a stamina system for these abilities. What kind of, I'm not sure. We could have it to where you have a pool, like a mana pool, that depletes the more you use the stamina and it goes up over time. We could have it to where you have to attack enemies to build up your stamina, and then you use it for abilities. Like, so to fix that, you can make it so that the ability goes on increased cooldown if you don't damage anything with it. That way it's a risk-reward system. The trouble with that is it's very difficult to convey that to the player how that works. You want your you want your you want it to be as simple and as possible. Otherwise, the player's like, I don't understand how this works. You have to be able to teach them how it works without it being confusing. I think it's a good idea, but you just have to. It's a very tricky thing to pull off. And for me, I'm going for simplicity. I don't want complex systems. I mean, it's not really complex, but when you think about like how the player perceives it, Like even something that seems simple can be complex and confusing. Visually, like how do you so how do you tell them that something happened? Like imagine it from the player's perspective. Like if they use an ability and half of the time they can use the ability again right afterwards, and the other half of the time they can't. How do you tell them that? Because cause to them that just it's half of the time it works, half of the time it doesn't. Like Celeste is perfect for that. Celeste is like the, the idolized Celeste for how good they do their visuals. Like you can just look at your character and know everything you need to know about how that character acts. Oh, let's see. Okay, I like a pushing system so that if nothing is in front of you, it doesn't push off. Hmm. You never played Celeste? You should fix that. it's, it is an amazing game for studying design. Like, look at that game for how they do their design. It's beautiful. I would fix that. If you picked up the Racial Injustice bundle when Itch had it, I think Celeste is in there. Oh, that's not nice. Don't say that. Oh, let's see. Back to what we were doing. We're going to do dash. So we need to add a basic state machine to our character. Never said you was even, huh? Yeah. So state machine, battle character. We want to do our player character. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in there. Don't quote me on it, but almost certain, like 99.9% certain it's in there. Hey, look at you. All right. Highly recommend it though. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. I need to finish it. So playable character state machine. We're going to extend this. I think. Do we already have it? No. Okay. We need to rename this. I think that's yeah. Let's see. You can't do it in a week, bro. It's that long of a game? I wouldn't know. Alright. Close that. Could have sworn I renamed it. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, function ready. We're just really basic character movement right now. We have idle and walk, pretty sure. That's all we have. We have attack, but attack's not going to be tied down to our state machine. It mostly be tied down to a um, secondary state machine. Game Endeavor, do you offer coding or coaching or code review? I do, but I've never had anyone take me up on it. So, yeah, take from that what you will. But yeah, on my Patreon, I have I guess a $20 tier for about an hour. I can do it per month or whatever. And beyond, if you need beyond that, I can do about 20 an hour. I can help you with your coding and stuff. Let's see. There's well, 20 an hour, $20 US dollars an hour. Oh. So let's see. Endeavor, we need to add our states. I think we need to, okay. Add state, we want idle. Add state, pursue. I'm always bad about misspelling this one, but yeah. There we go. No, not pursue. Run. We're not an AI. Or are we? We ain't decided the story on this game yet. We could, might as well be. Add state. Dodge. Now, do we want... What kind of dodging do we want? We could have... could have a rolling dodge. Check. You can either hit me up on Discord, if there's should be a link in the description, or there should be an email address on my about page. Okay, so add state idle, add state run, add state dodge. We want to set our state. Call deferred. Set state. States.idle. Okay. And for transitions, we'll go ahead and do the transitions. First, we'll say if parent dot velocity. Anytime, bud. If parent dot velocity dot length. Now we can't do perfect zero, so we'll have to do less than equal to stop. We'll have a stop threshold. We can't do a perfect zero because the lerping that we use doesn't stop immediately. Like it gradually, over really slow, long time, it'll stop. Like several seconds. So we need some sort of value that we'll consider to be stopped. It's slow enough to be considered stopped. The player can't see it, but it's not quite stopped. So if the velocity length is less than that, wait, I am doing this. I haven't done state machine in a while, so you have to bear with me here. So if the match state, states dot idle, there we go. And then we should just be able to return states dot, wait, I need to be greater than, because we're going, if our length is greater than that, then we're considered to be running. And then states.run is just the opposite. If parent dot velocity dot length is less than dot threshold, return states dot idle. Okay. For here, for testing purposes, we'll say print states dot keys new state. Hey, Game Endeavor, are you still continuing the platform tutorial still? Yes, maybe. Haven't really been motivated to make tutorials lately. It's been like every time I get the project going, I write like half the script and then it's just, I don't feel like doing anything. And so that's why I want to do this, maybe take a break from it, sort of clear my head out a little bit, hopefully. So I don't know where that's at right now. I'm thinking I want to try doing some devlogs though, see what the people think about that, see how that works out for me. So I want to keep making content, just not sure what I want to do with it right now. You look like nothing. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Probably terrible. I'd rather not know. So, states.keys. So yeah, still, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I want to do tutorials because people like them and they're good, and it's just, I don't know. Yeah, but then like, it's not as if I've been doing a lot of tutorials earlier. I don't know why. I'm just not motivated. I don't know. It's a lot of work that goes into them, so it's sort of, Yeah, devlogs would be awesome. I would like to try my hand at it. With devlogs, I feel like you have to be sort of social, like a social person, like that. Just sort of. I don't know me. I'm not a social person, so we'll have to see how that goes. I can, I will hopefully do them in the same style that I tend to do my tutorials. With beating humor. Maybe I get some people to laugh, but we'll see. I like listening to these while I do stuff and Godot myself. Listening to what the streams or devlogs. Let's see. Oh, what are we doing here? We should be good for that, I think. Okay, so we know that works. Now we need some kind of dodge key. Now, here's the funny part. Not the funny part. The tricky part. Typically, I'll use shift as my dodge, but I just said it was my attack modifier. So, maybe it won't be maybe this won't be shift. No, the streams, yeah. Well, that's good. Let's see. Oh, gotta add one. So we want to dodge. Yeah, we already put it in here. So we'll say shift for now. I gotta think about how else I want to do that. Alt is an option, maybe. I think that might be awkward though. Very awkward thumb placement for sure. Okay, so state logic. Function input event. Tutorials take a lot of work to make them enjoyable. I mean, anyone can make a tutorial, but to make a good tutorial like Game Endeavor does a lot more work. Well, thank you, buddy. That's very kind of you. It does require a lot of work, though. Like, especially the way I do them with all the editing and the scripting. Like, that's one of the reasons I like to script them, too, is because it allows me to inject my humor. Like, I feel like it would be, yeah. Like, I've tried to do tutorials without the scripting, and I thought it was kind of boring. Yeah, maybe practice though. So input, we want to say if event.is action pressed. Artendi here. He's a good guy. The next press is dodged. Do I usually do my... Yeah, I think I do dodge. And I say if states.idle states.run has state, meaning that our state is one of these, then we're able to dodge. And we should be able to dodge. Okay. Now the dodge, as for a dodge cooldown, it won't have one now. But we shouldn't be able to, if we're in the dodge state, we shouldn't be able to dodge, so it should be fine. So we should just be able to say set state dodge. Okay. And so when we enter a new state, so match new state, states.dodge. Might have to hit up Artenia about devlogs. He's really good at them. I have to get some tips and tricks from you, bro. So match new state to states.dodge. When we enter this, okay, so what I'm thinking is, what was you was also wondering that? What was you wondering? Oh, about, I guess what Artendi said, maybe. Okay, so what I'm thinking is like a rolling dodge, maybe with a jump to it. Maybe. We're just going to get a basic dodge down for now. So what we want to do is set our velocity to our move input. Now we need to, before we do that, we need to clean up and start moving our stuff into a state machine so that we know what we need. So playable character, we have this one. We'll also need to we don't want to attack while we're dodging, so we'll have to get that checked out. As for movement, we're going to move this into its own method. Function update move input. There. So in our player state machine, we're going to say match state. For now, we're going to combine these together. So states.idle, states.run. We'll say, because they are pretty much the same. I think the animation is going to be different. I can't think of any other reason they'd have different logic. So parent.update move input. Apply movement function. Wait, I think we might already have that. Yeah, we have apply movement. That actually moves the velocity thing, which is that. Okay, so we need a name for that. And actually, this one will be outside, because we want movement to be applied no matter the scene, usually. There are some instances where you wouldn't. So we'll have to take a look at that. But then again, we'd probably set our velocity to 0. Maybe. Yeah. So we can get rid of this. This is our look. We're updating our look here. So we can make a method for that. Update look. This is basically the direction that our mouse is. Or in the case of a joypad, it'll be what direction the right stick is, probably. I haven't thought about how I want to do combat for the thing. I imagine it'll be right stick controlled. Gotta go. Thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for popping by, Ivan. To update look. Alright, so then we just have this, and what do I call this? Update velocity. I need to make those private other ones, because I don't think they'll be used anywhere outside of this class in the state machine. So that should be good. So update move input, update velocity, update look. Let me go ahead and make these private before I forget. All right. So that should all be good. Nope. Okay, cool. Ooh, what happened there? Oh, I dodged. Accidentally. I gotta remember, that's not my ability anymore. Okay, so it is locked, that though, and the knockback took place. Knockback while dodge will be interesting. Well, we're going to be invulnerable during dodge probably, but it's something we'll have to consider if we have, like if we make the player vulnerable, maybe at the end of the dodge. It's something we'll have to consider that if we get knocked back while doing that, it'll mess up our movement. But that should be that. Now, how do we get out of the dodge? I'm thinking timer based. because it's going to be a roll dodge. There's going to be an animation to it. Sometimes I would end the dodge, like a dash, for example. I would end when you hit a wall, but for a roll, I don't think we'll be doing that. So now we'll do that. So we need to get out of it. We're going to be doing a timer. Yeah, sounds good. Let's go ahead and add this timer to the battle characters in case we have any enemies that might want to dodge as well. When an enemy hits you, knock back when an enemy hits you. I already have knockback. Timer. So yeah, if we walk up to the... Yeah, there's already knockback. Not a lot, but it's there. The enemies have it too, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so what are you making this game for? Just to make a game. I'm just to make a game. It's gonna be a simple game. It's not gonna be anything fancy. I hope I can finish it in about 4 months, I'm hoping. Just trying to get something out there. I just wanted to get back into development. I've been a little busy lately. I hadn't really gotten into development. I figured a stream would, be nice. Plus, I gotta get back into streaming. Gotta practice, bro. So let's see. Dodge. We need to get out of it. We made the timer. How long? Let's go with 0.8 for now. One shot. Good. We'll cache it. I had a few ideas over last week. I don't know. About a few games that I wanted to make, and this was one of them. Yeah. Now, friends for the transition should basically be able to check to see states dot dodge if parent dot dodge timer is stopped, turn states dot idle. Oh, I didn't start the timer. Oh man. So when we start the dodge, parent, we're going to make a method for dodging. We'll do it in the player for now. Enemies might have different dodges. Alright, so velocity. For one, we're going to probably want to update our move input. I've done this before, and if you don't update your move input, you can get some odd behaviors sometimes. So we'll get the move input. We'll need a dodge velocity. This might not need to be a dodge as a constant because we might have abilities that change this later or whatever. But for now, it should be fine. I don't know if you know, but do you think there's a noticeable difference in the performance between GDScript, C#, and Godot? Just saw a comment on it the other day. I don't know. I've never used this C# in Godot, but I imagine it would be a lot different. C# would be a lot more performance friendly because it's and plus I've heard the same thing as well, but I don't know how much or anything like that. But I think C# is a compiled language. I would imagine Godot compiles it, and I think those tend to run faster than scripted languages. I think it's what it's called. Might be a different name. I could be wrong though. I don't know the specifics of none of that. But I would imagine it would be C# would be a lot more performance friendly. Not performance friendly, but, you know, better performance wise. There you go. I got there eventually. So dodge velocity. Let's say our run velocity is 6 times 24, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go 10. 10 times 24. Velocity equals, we need, move input times dodge velocity. And then we need to start our dodge timer. Now, currently it's not going to, you know what I'm going to do? Currently it's not going, we don't have any sort of deceleration on that, so it's going to have a static movement, but we might slow that down here in a second. Let us get rid of these. So we just have the battlefield to ourselves. GD script is, let's see. So why do you stick GD script? I assume that's, oh, never mind. There's a lot of chat I gotta catch up with apparently. So what are you making this game for? Oh, that's, never mind, I've already read all that. Okay. So I guess you're asking me. So what do you use GD script? Honestly, it doesn't matter. I use, okay, for me personally, I stick with GD script because it's the one that most people use. And as a tutorial maker, like, it makes more sense for me to use GD script. And plus, I think when I started Godot, the support for C# wasn't real strong. Like, I think it wasn't, that's what I'd heard anyhow. Like, it was implemented, but GD script was the preferred one to use. And plus, there was more tutorials for GD script, so it's easier to learn. But C# would be a good option. Not for this one. Like this is, I don't imagine this game having too many performance things that I need to concern about. And plus, I'm so familiar with GD script right now. Like, it makes more sense for me to use that, I reckon. But I would like to do some high performance simulation games. Like, there was one I've tried to do. I said this in, I think, the last stream. I wanted to make a life simulator to where you have these critters that navigate this world, and then, you know, they grow old and die, but they have to breed, and if they breed, they pass on their attributes. And so, but there's mutations in those attributes that make them either faster or slower or all these other stuff. And so you can sort of simulate, like, which attributes are better giving my simulation. So, like, how fast they gather food, how quick they run from each other, like other enemies that might eat them, you know, stuff like that. And once I started simulating all that, at around like 100, 200, 300 entities, it started chugging and getting slow. So I would like to transfer that over to C# and see if it performed better, because it was I really like the idea of that. It is, I imagine, it is easier. Now, C# is nothing to be, like, it's not, in my opinion, it's a pretty simple language, C#. Like, of all the languages that I've learned, I found it to be the most straightforward and easy to pick up. That in Java. Okay, so, oh yeah, I got rid of these guys. It should just be me. Okay, cool. And then there's the dot. That is. Okay, move input. If it's 0, it's not moving. Do we need, okay, we want, usually what I'll have for this. So move input, it takes in your controls at the time. There's another variable I like to add called facing, which is your last input. I guess that would be our look. No. Facing is going to be different though, because we're probably going to be facing towards the mouse. We have two options for dodge too, by the way. We could have it based on what your move input was, or what your look is with your mouse. I'm thinking movement though. So let's just call it previous move input. No, I don't like that though. We'll just call it facing. I know what facing means. It might confuse other people down the road, but it's good enough. So for me, facing means the last move input that was not 0. So we're going to, for now, we're going to put it into update move input. Do I have this? Is this a player thing only? Okay. We'll do here. We'll say if move input dot length is not equal to 0, then facing equals move input. I think move input is better. Yeah. Gotta go. See you later. See you later, Artendi. Thank you for popping by the stream. Yeah, I think input would be better as well. It'll be easier to dodge away from things. Because imagine you're attacking something, you have to move your mouse towards it. If you wanted to dodge away from it, you'd have to bring your mouse all the way over and move away from it. And I think that would be confusing to people. Otherwise, you'd be dodging into the enemy. Which is also a tactic because you can dodge through them, but it might not be what they intended. So yeah, I think that would be better as well. So facing equals move input. So when we dodge, here, we'll say facing times dodge velocity. Now facing, we always need to have it set to something. This includes when the player is first spawned. So I like to set it to facing dot right. Otherwise it'll start at 0. They could hit the dodge key without pressing any keys and it wouldn't do anything, but they'd still enter the dodge state. It's a bit weird, so we're going to assume that they start out facing right. Yeah. So boop and doop. Now that is a very long dodge. We're going to bring that down a lot. Let's say 0.3. Okay. That feels a little better. Okay. For readability, for our readability's sake. What's okay. We're gonna add an animator. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll just have a basic animator. So we'll have it here. We'll have a dodge, and what we're just going to do is rotate our body. So there, we set 0.3. And we'll set this here. Oh, that was not what I expected. Okay, hold on. Oh, we can fix that. Let's put it here. Oh, let's see. Hi, I have a question. Which is better in your opinion, tiled map editor or any third-party software, or Godot and build tile editor? I have not used tiled enough to say that it's great. I like Godot because it's sort of built in, you can play with it as it is, but it can be a bit tricky at times, especially when it comes to auto tiling and stuff. But you can add in your own custom features at the same time if you do tool scripts. And I've done a lot of work with procedural, like when in my previous games that I've tried to make, I did a lot of procedural stuff. So I could be like, click a button and generate a dungeon, and then I could save that as a preset type thing. Like instead of like pure procedural generation, I sort of procedurally generate it and then I decorate it myself. And so I don't know if you can do that in tiled, but that's one of the cool things about Godot. But I think tiled, you can do some really nifty stuff too. I remember Formclake was talking about it, I think in a live stream. He was talking about all the stuff he could do. Like he wouldn't have to write any code for the world. He could do it all in tiled and just have it automatically do all this fancy stuff. And that was really cool from what I've seen him doing. So they probably both have their pros and cons, depending on how you look at it. I use Godot more than anything though. But I should be looking more into tiled because I think you can do some cool stuff with it. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. So I've got the animation player, and it should have the dodge. Let's see how that looks now. Boop. Okay. So when we dodge, we'll also play that animation player. And I'm surprised we haven't done it yet. We'll go ahead and get our character flipping as well. We just need to flip the body, I think. Okay. We'll probably do it on our facing variable. When we set our facing, maybe? No, because that's going to be based on movement. Something we have to get used to again. So we'll do it. I don't know how I want to do this one. Okay, so my character, I'm pretty sure my character is going to look at. Keep it up. Well, thank you. I will try. I think my character is going to be looking at the mouse. So where do I set this at? I set it update look. Yeah. So we'll say if look.x is greater than or equal to 0, then we'll say body. I don't think I have that cached. Body.scale.x equals 1. Else body.scale.x equals -1. I could do that in a ternary. I think that's what. Body.scale.x equals 1 if look.x is greater than or equal to 0, else -1. And then, I think that's all we need. No, we need to cache it in our battle character because that's something we'll have for everybody. So onReady for body equals body. No, this is, we have 2 different characters there, so we have that. Okay, so. Something we'll have to consider later is maybe they're rolling forwards despite moving backwards, but I'm not concerned about that right now. Alright, so we'll have that. I'm thinking we probably should do some kind of shadow under them. Just to sort of give us a little bit of depth. We don't, you know, it's just for us, but it'll help to understand of how we want this to feel. Because I do want to add a bit of deceleration to this as well. So let's get just that. Actually, might have been proper. There. Get us a quick shadow going. We'll add it to our character specifically. We'll add it on a per character basis. So sprite shadow. There. Why are you offset? Did I offset the body? Yeah. Okay. Don't know why that was that way. It's weird. That is really weird. Okay. Oh, also wants to go under the character. All right. Let's get the. Now, when we do this, we need to. Another thing we need to do is to disable our hitbox whenever we're dodging. Yes, thanks a lot for your tip. I am new to game dev. I also tried Godot auto tiling. It works for me as well. It gets the job done. You can do some fancy stuff with it if you dig into if you put in some tool scripts. I think, oh always forget this guy's name. Like Ginger Aegis or something. He did a video recently about how you can get two different tiles to bind with each other on auto tiling. Is pretty cool. We'll definitely be using that a lot. So let's see. Oh, I had shadow dodging. I wanted to disable my collision. Okay, cool. So on our playable character dodge, do we have hitbox cached? I believe we do. I believe it's in the battle character. So we'll say hitbox dot. Right, actually. Hitbox dot. I don't like using this one because it tends to cause issues with me. But is monitorable? Monitoring. I think my hitboxes do monitoring. That's false. Okay. And we just call that from here. So that way, this will make us invulnerable during these during our dodge. Are you a full-time game dev on Godot? No. I was doing work for Transmogrify, but I haven't been working on that lately. So right now, just casual, I reckon. So, oops. Or no, it's not is. Godot has a weird way of doing their variables sometimes. Okay. Now I'm not seeing. Oh, I guess I suppose I wouldn't see it. So let's try. Let's throw in some enemies and see if it works. Or a enemy. All we need is one. Okay. Oh, did he get hit? Oh, wait. My sword is hitting for some reason. Interesting. I might not be enabling it. Yeah. I gotta fix that. The sword, when I attack, it's not getting disabled. For some reason, I could have sworn I implemented that. So weapon, attack, collision not disabled equals false. Okay. Interpolate property collision disabled. Wait, no, not interpolate. And interpolate callback. I don't know why it's not auto completing for me. Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's collision duration, which would be attack duration. Yeah. Okay. Attack duration. Then I think it's the method, which would be set collision. No. Disabled. And then the property value, so true. See what happens. Usually if it's not auto-completing for me, then something's borked. There we go. Alright, cool. Don't know why it wasn't. Oh, probably because I didn't have it on the right thing. Yeah. Alright. I didn't have the proper scene open. Alright, so let's throw in a few more enemies and look at and reevaluate how our battle scene is going. And what we might need to add to spice it up a bit. Let's get 3 enemies going, because 3 will probably be like a standard thing, standard fight. Okay. So as far as enemies goes, that was pretty boring. They just run towards us. Combat goes, I don't feel too bad. Let's do some dodging. Let me get rid of this first. Okay. It's not too bad. Let's try some abilities. Okay. I think the combat feels pretty good. We just need to add a few different types of enemies, I would imagine. Just to spice things up about how you have to react to the enemies. Because these, you can just attack wildly and hit them. That should be fine. You shouldn't be any real danger. So, if y'all have any suggestions for enemies, let me know. I'm going to think about it right quick. We could have bouncy enemies. We could have dashing enemies. We could have wall-mounted enemies that shoot pellets, maybe. Oh, archer enemies. Like, maybe they bombard you with cannons or something. Little cannon enemy. I'll tell you what, let's start a list. And then we can go through the list and see what we want to do. Okay. So currently, we have just the walking enemy. We could have a bounce enemy, dashing enemy, a mage enemy. Let's just what is the problem? What do you mean, what's the problem? Can't think of any problem, to be honest. Everything seems to be working as planned. So mage, cannon, bombarder. Like a stone spitter. It sits in the background, throws little pelts at you. Think of, I forget what they're called. From Legend of Zelda, the really basic enemies. Something that bombards you and telegraphs where it will hit. Yeah. Let's see. So like a little crosshair type thing. Yeah. We have the cannon bombarder. That's what I'm thinking. Is they sort of do something like that. I'm thinking I want to do something sort of cartoony with that, like a sentient cannon. I think that'd be cool. Okay, what about we could have one of those enemies that sort of drops Binding of Isaac did this, I think. They had the enemies where wherever they walked, they left a trail behind them, and you can't walk on that trail for a certain amount of time. So, I don't know what you'd call that, though. Hard Puncher, Doomfist style? I don't know what Doomfist is. Doomfist. Never heard of it. Oh, Overwatch? Yeah, I haven't played Overwatch. That is cool and interesting idea. So we have like an enemy that he's sort of slow. He sort of hangs back a bit, but when he does attack, he just like sends out this big fist. So yeah, we'll call it the hard punching brute. Creep. I think there's stuff on the floor. Yeah, there you go. Creep. Let's see. Toxic slug. There you go. We'll pat that down. Okay, some sort of hard puncher that has a large object. Yeah, I think I like that too. Large fist. I like that. Okay. Can have some sort of flying enemy that hits you with the range, maybe. Would that be any different than? We could have a shockwave enemy. Have a digger that comes up and like it goes underground, pops up and attacks you. Something that reaches from the walls. Ooh. Something that actually grab you out of the wall, like a wall shadow. Reaches out and grabs you. That would be creepy. I like that. Let's see. Oh no, I hate flying enemies in every single game. They're always impossible to hit. How would a flying enemy be impossible to hit in a 2D game, though? I could understand 3D, but 2D, it's the same thing. Flying enemies would be tricky, though, because I'm not sure where to put the hitbox. Like, do you put it where the sprite is, or like where the ground is? Because I don't know. It's always weird to me. Because me personally, I always find myself like, especially if I tend to aim more towards the ground, because I don't know, it's weird. They always make them fast as hell. Yeah, I could see that. I wasn't thinking of a fast flyer though. I was thinking of more like a ranged flyer, like a bat that shoots out telekinesis beams or something. And they fly in a random pattern. True. Let's see. The digger would be an interesting idea. Programmatically wise, I don't know how much it'd be. Those tend to irritate me when I play those in a game, but I think programmatically it would be interesting. Shockwave. Now, when I say shockwave, I don't mean the shockwave that we have, the ability. I mean like a AoE damage, like maybe it jumps up, slams down, and does that little shockwave around it. Okay. I think we're going to start with the cannon bombarder, because I think that would be interesting to program. Well, if there are pits, that would make more sense because they would fly over them. I'm thinking of having pits. The trouble with that is that all the AI, it's difficult to get them to navigate around the pits. I mean, not really. The thing happens with like spike traps. It's difficult to get them to navigate around hazards. I guess pit is a little easier. Still, meh. And since I have a big part of this, and the reason I'm going with the battle system that I'm going with, is I want it to be sort of party-based, strategic. You have to rely on your teammates, kind of thing. Maybe one of those shy ones from Super Mario where you look at their direction, they stand still, but they attack you if you look away. I think that's too iconic for Mario. I think if we were to do that, people would be like, rip off. Too iconic. Because, yeah. Let's see. Well, I think we're going to start with Bombarder. Here. Okay. Let's see what sprites we have to play with. If there's anyone here we'd like to use. Well, it's not just enemies. It's not really the enemies at all I'm concerned about. It's the players, the player characters. If you're playing and one of your characters falls into a pit, it's gonna be frustrating. I'm talking about, yeah, the party pathing. Oh, I don't see anything that really stands out to me. It's one of these I could do it. These could be cool for shooting out fireballs. Now, granted, these are not going to be the final sprites we use. These are just placeholders, just to give y'all something to look at mostly. I think we'll go with this guy. Okay, so new inherited scene. We're going to inherit from our enemy class, which, by the way, should have this faction. I guess we did it in Grunt. Okay. So, Bombarder. We'll probably do, me personally, when I'm doing prototypes like this, I tend to do 3 enemy types. I think 3 enemy types is a good number for getting a feel for your game, how the how strategy and stuff and the gameplay is going to go for combat. So anytime you're doing like game jams or prototyping, me personally, I recommend 3 characters. It sort of gives a sense for the type of variety that you're going to go for. Just stopping by to show some love. I may have you in the background tab for most of this stream. That's fine, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by, Any Key. It's always good to see you, bud. Alright. Bombarder. We have this. We can get rid of this temporary sprite for now, I think. Actually, yeah. Battle character. Let's get rid of this. I was using that for just sort of a visual sense, but we don't need it, I don't think. All these didn't get the memo. Okay, what are you? Apparently they decided to keep one for themselves. Alright. Check the grunt real quick. Yeah, you did too. Okay. So, buddy, we're going to need a sprite. This guy. And then we won't. Should be it. Hey. Alright. Move him up. Alright. We have an X of 9. I tend to do about half-ish for the collision. That should be fine. Alright, and then this, he has a hitbox, no hitbox, but no shape for the hitbox. Throw this in here. Should be good. I'm a bit curious how you organize your code. When you create an enemy, do you have an interface for enemies? Or do you create all new types of enemies? Their own script, kind of new Godot. Alright, so I'm not entirely sure what you're saying by interface, but what I do is to create inheritance. So I'm going to assume you're asking about inheritance. If not, you can stop me. So we have the battle character, which is the character that in our battle scenes, well, not the overworld, it's the characters that move around on the battle. They have health, they can attack, and they all that stuff. And this is where a lot of the code goes because we can all share it. So move towards anything can move towards a thing. Get ideal target. Anything can get an ideal target, and the default behavior for that is to get the nearest one, but we can inherit it from it. So we have the battle character. We have an AI script, which is going to be redundant because everything is going to be an AI, but it's there. I'll probably remove it later, but I have to do some hacking to do that. And then we have the enemy script, which will have things specific to an enemy. It's empty at the moment, and then finally we have inherited from that. We have the grunt script, which for this one is just the basic movement script. For other ones, it'll be something else. And then I have my playable character, which inherits from the original battle character, which is also a playable character. Also got AI elements, and it uses all this code. And so you'll see that the bombarder here inherits from enemy, whereas the grunt also inherits from enemy. But at the same time, they have all those shared features. They also have their own unique features as well. I hope that makes sense. I'm probably not the best to explain inheritance. Actually, I think I did a pretty terrible job, to be honest. Oh, man. Okay. I tried the neighbor detection. Let's make this bigger. Just a little bit. Bump it up a little bit. Okay. He's a bit of a thick boy. So, like, the circle's a little odd for him. Might change that to a capsule later. And I just changed it for everybody. Hold on. Gotta love that. Go ahead and make a capsule. So that it'll be unique. Otherwise, it shares it with everybody. Oh, no. I should have done that one first. There. Okay. Now him, let us into our battle scene. Let's get rid of these grunts. We'll add in the... Did we name it? Yeah. But I think we're on the wrong screen. Bombarder. Get this guy here. Now he doesn't have any follow thing. The grunts, they just have that one script. Now the bombarder, he's going to have some more advanced behavior, but I don't think it's too advanced. Yeah, I mean, might as well. We'll make a state machine for him. It's pretty simple. So extend script. Let's remove script. There. Let's extend it again, but this time we'll try to give it a name. That would be useful. Bombarder. Full file on that state machine. Okay. We'll copy in our state code. There. So we're gonna have to add a state function, add state. Oh. Ready. I'm gonna add a state for, we'll just have pursue. We'll go idle. State idle. Idles if he doesn't have a target. Most of the time that's not going to be the case, but like maybe they wipe out the party, we'll have to switch back to the idle state. Because currently even the grunt, if the grunt wipes out the player, then they just keep running into a wall. I have to fix that. But that's not important right now. Add a state idle, add a state pursue. Okay, so here's how we're going to have to think about his... thanks for the very informative stream. I learned so much here, but sadly I got to go to sleep. It's getting late. Well, take it easy, bud. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. That was a good explanation. Thank you, Will. I'm glad you said I thought it was. Okay, so here's the behavior. We're going to have the grunt. He's going to be slow moving. Not because he's big, but because we want him to hang back. He will approach the player or approach a target once he gets close enough. I guess he'll wait a second. We sort of want him to we don't want we want him to be sort of last. Like we want the targets to start attacking and him to sort of hang back and then attack afterwards maybe. We'll think about that. And then we'll have him telegraph. We might even, like that one person said, we might even show where he's going to attack, which will allow the player to get out of the way. Maybe we'll do I don't know how we'll do that. Do some kind of graphic. And then he'll throw a rock. We'll have to program the rock. It's probably going to use pseudo 3D, so we'll have to implement that. It'll be interesting. Won't be difficult though. By pseudo 3D, I mean we're going to the ball is the thing it's going to throw. It's going to move towards the player in a straight line, but we'll have the sprite. We'll have a shadow on the ground and a sprite that sort of goes pew, an arch, and so it'll look like it's 3D, but it's actually just going to be very much 2D. But it's the same concept as 3D in that the X and Y will act like the X and Z in 3D, and the Y will be the sprite's position, the sprite's Y. And we might even call it Z just for, not Z. Yeah, we'll see. So, add state, pursue. Do we want to have a wait state? I'm going to say yes. Then we'll have a, because he's gonna wait before he telegraphs, and then he'll telegraph, and then he'll throw object, and then we're not gonna do it here, but after he's thrown the object, I don't know if we're gonna do like a cannon, or maybe we'll have like a brute that throws stuff. He'll be like, and sort of see where it goes. I think that'll be interesting. So, add state, watch object. Okay, and then after that, he'll go back to the pursue state. All right. So, well, I guess we'll get our transitions first. So, for idle, we want to get a target. The hitbox will actually be disabled. If you think about it this way, it'll be above their heads, so it's not going to hit anything. So we'll just have it disabled until it hits the ground. I mean, if it goes straight, but the animation shows that the object is in the air. Yeah, like it won't be dangerous when it's in the air, because that's just the way to. But yeah, that would be tricky if you wanted it to be dangerous in the air. But we'll just have it disabled. It's just the visual aspect. So idle, we're going to want to get the target. We'll probably do that inside of the state logic in a match statement. So at this point, we either have a target or we don't. So match state. Oh, okay. So it's not possible to hit while it's in the air. Correct. Now, something to consider, though, maybe down the road, we're not going to worry about it right now, is, say, a flying state. Maybe they, like if you think, I think Final Fantasy had it. They had a float condition to where you can't be hit by ground attacks, but it had like other possibilities that could affect it. That could be something to consider, but I don't think we're going to do it because I think that would complicate things. At least not to that extent. Like they just hover above the ground, so it still would be an issue. But what came to mind was we was talking about flying enemies earlier. If we were to have like a flying player, or a player was to throw something like that, how would that interact with the flying enemy? Something we'll have to consider down the road. We'll probably not just not worry about it because it sounds difficult. It's not difficult, but annoying to get right. So I don't know what we'll do there. Because the player's going to have abilities too, like there will be magic that you could use, that kind of stuff. You could possibly throw some boulders back. So match states dot idle, and at this point we have a target. Now, I think we already have a target implemented in our battle character. We should have target reference. We have this method here, get target, which will return null if it doesn't have a target. Otherwise, it'll return the target. And we're using a weak reference for anybody that wasn't here for this. We're using weak references. So we have a whole setup here. And that's for that. So we should just be able to say if parent dot get target not equal null, meaning they have a target, then they should be switching over to pursue. And the states type pursue is where they're going to be running towards the end of the target. So we want to get a distance. We now, since they're throwing stuff, do we give them also the possibility for melee attacking? Like, if they get too close, do they start attacking melee, or do they run away? They're big. These are as from the looks of this, if we continue with the sprite and what I'm thinking of, they might be pretty big. Might be silly if they run away. I think we'll give them melee. So we'll need two different telegraphs. We need a throw telegraph. Or we could tie it into a single telegraph maybe, but add state melee telegraph. Can they throw at really close range? Maybe. 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 I don't know that I want to, though. I'm thinking big brute. Maybe they start stomping the ground or like hitting the ground or something. I don't think that'll make them look like ogre-like. So melee telegraph, telegraph at state. We'll just melee. We'll just call it melee. And then after they melee, they'll go back to their pursuit. Now, maybe they can damage themselves if you are too close. Why would they damage themselves? You talking about throwing objects? That would be funny. Could implement some way of having an enemy hurt themselves. This character got more complicated than I wanted it to be for a prototype. We might put this one on the back burner for now, because I just want to get the basics of combat down. I don't want to get too in-depth into this. Let's look at our enemy list again. Yeah, let's go with the mage then. We'll look at the brute later on. Hello, checking out what you are creating today. Howdy, Pascal. Simple way to do would be to brute wants you to stay far away, so if you get too close, I can push you back. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a good idea. Let me map that as a comment. What about, oh, bombarder. We'll implement that when we do it, but just all this logic, it's more than I'm wanting to do right now. So let's do a mage. Mage shouldn't be too difficult, and I'm thinking it'll be interesting. We'll have, I think it'll do maybe like a fireball that bounces off walls. Maybe. I think that'll be interesting to have to dodge all that while worrying about everything else. So, base scene, enemy. Probably have a couple of different spells that could go between. I'll just pick one at random or something. Okay, so let's grab a sprite. Guess we'll grab this guy. Okay. Collision shape. Oh, I did that. Silly. There we go. The hitbox. That should be good. And then everything else should be fine. Okay. Do you have a full game in mind, or are you making parts of an underlying work frame as an exercise? I have a full game in mind. A simple game, though, not too complicated. I'm hoping to have this done. 4 months is my goal. Like, I haven't set a specific date, but, like, it's the one I keep saying. And I need to, otherwise I'll be, a month from now, I'll be saying 4 months, forgetting that a month has passed. But, yeah. 4 months to go, just a simple little game, you know. And if it's good, we'll keep expanding upon it. As for a full game concept, not really. Like, playing it a little bit by ear. I have an idea of how I want the combat to go. But as far as, like, the exploration, stuff like that, I haven't, not sure how I want that one to go yet. But I do want to be somewhat interesting. Like, you tend to see with a lot of RPG style games, they're mostly concerned with the story and stuff. Whereas I want to tell a story, but my main thing is gameplay. I want the game to be fun to play, but have that RPG aesthetic. Okay, so we need to copy this. But yeah, I have an idea for where I want the combat to go. That's about it. but I want this to be a full game. But I'm still not certain of how well the combat's going to work out yet, which is why we're prototyping it. I think it'll be interesting, but at the same time, I'm slightly a little bit skeptical. And so, but I have a backup idea for another game if this don't work out, which I'll probably stream as well. But I think this one will be cool. My concern is the transition, if that's going to be too jarring or anything. But I think it opened up nice possibilities for the party system, which you don't tend to get in action RPGs. But one that did it well, in my opinion, was Star Ocean, which is what inspired this one. Will this game be playable with a gamepad, or are you going to use mouse and direct with weapon? It will be gamepad playable. In fact, I think there's already a little bit of, not the attack or anything, but but I'm pretty sure I've already implemented the controls for it. Yeah, we already got some thumbstick going. Now, it'll be interesting because of the way that I'm planning to do combat. It's going to be ability-based. And so what we was talking about earlier, I don't know if you were here, talking about how to pull it off on a keyboard. And so I'm thinking like modifier keys. Like if you're holding control and attack, then you get to do your one ability. If you hold a control and right-click, that's your second ability. And all that. Whereas the joypad, it's going to be completely button-based. So in the script, it's going to have two different logics, one for the keyboard, one for joypad. So we'll have to figure that one out. But I think you should be able to tell. We'll have to add some kind of logic as to for what we're using, whether keypad or joypad. Or we could take the easy way and do what was it? Spelunky did, to where you define in the options menu which one you're using. I think that's what they did. But it shouldn't be hard to detect which one you're going back. If you're like, because me personally, I hate having to go into the options and select which one I'm using. Where are you from? Your accent reminds me of my family from NC. That's exactly where I'm from. You hit that one on the head, my friend. Okay. Let's see. We're still in the bombarder. I don't know why. Okay. Oh, because of the crash, I reckon. Why did it crash? Expected block in. Here. Sounds like a nice game so far. Well, thank you kindly. I think it'll be interesting. I'm actually pretty excited for it. Because it reminds me of the games that I played as a kid, but at the same time not, because I don't think I've seen anybody do what I have in mind. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Except for, like I said, Star Ocean. Star Ocean comes really close, but at the same time, it still has like a lot of that turn-based feel, because you don't control the characters directly. Well, you can, but it's not in how you would think. But like there is free movement, but most of the time you can just click the button and your character runs up to them and attacks. It still has that that feel to it. Whereas this one's going to be pure action, no hand holding and stuff. Like you attack, it attacks. Let's see. Speaking of which, I've been talking about Star Ocean lately since we're doing the stream, and then it wasn't trending, but it was in a topic that was trending on Twitter today. I thought that was interesting. I haven't seen the game mentioned other than when I played it, the Last Hope. Man, I never hear about it until the time that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I'm still looking at Bombarder. Getting distracted. So, Mage. We'll have the idol, we'll have the pursue. The mage will have really long range. So, but I think he'll want to get him within range for some things. And then once he's within range, he'll do a telegraph attack. It's pretty basic stuff, I think. We'll need some kind of mechanism for pausing the attack afterwards, so he's not spamming attacks. Final Fantasy 12 was good. 12, at a certain point I get confused as to which ones are which. I don't remember which one 12 was. combat. Yeah. I remember they had. Oh, it was the one with. I remember the one with the space pirate and the little bunny girl. I think they're in a bunch of them though. I remember that one. Was that 10? I feel like that was 10. 10 was pretty good. I liked that. There was one I played. It was just awful though. Fire has some sort of other elements. Maybe there could be different mages in the game later on. Yeah, there'll be different types of mages and different mages. For this one, we're just gonna go simple. Keep things, getting too complicated. It'll just be probably a fire mage. So add state. Oh, we'll add our idle. Pursue. Now, as for how we're going to delay the attack, there's many different ways we can do this, and it always sort of tricky as to how I want to do it. The defining factor, if you remember, 12 was Vaughn is spelling. Yeah, there will be some damage over time as well. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and add that here. Status effects. So we have your typical poison burn. So now the interesting thing is, since we have action-based combat like this, the things like slow and haste could have an interesting effect. So you could have haste and move around the battle more, maybe attack more often. Vaughn, yeah. It's like there's a bunch of different ways to spell that. Slow haste, okay, cool. That should be good. So, I think we're going to put a pause before the attack, because we don't want him to attack immediately. If everybody attacks it, right at the start, it'll become overwhelming. You sort of want a little bit of a pause. So, we'll just call it prepare. Telegraph. Now, prepare is always a weird one because sometimes you have to leave that state if the player gets too far away. And so, you have to be careful of, how do you carry it? Do you carry the preparedness over, Otherwise, the player can come in and out of their range and screw things up. Bunny Girl was in 12, yeah. She was cool. Let's see. Telegraph, and we'll say cast. Spell. That was an interesting game. Let's see. Oh, and we want to call deferred. Set state. States.idle. Cool. So the same thing here. We'll say match state. States.idle. If get parent dot get target not equal to null, then we have a target. We should move towards target. Now for the pursuit state, we just want to make sure that we're within range of the target. We already have, we have these cached. Choose out. Those add state functions, they are the animations that you are going to create later. They are, they're states for how the character behaves. So, idle means he doesn't have any target, there's nothing he can do, so he just stands around. Pursue is where he has a target, so he moves towards the target. Prepare is going to be it's a break between where he can attack the target and when he does attack the target. So this is sort of a buffer so that he doesn't attack the target immediately upon getting there. That's very frustrating if you do that in your games. You always want to have some kind of buffer. Then you have a telegraph where he basically announces that he's going to attack, and then a cast spell where he performs the attack. Once that happens, he falls back into the pursue state, and then repeats that cycle over and over again. That's his loop. Now each of these will have an animation tied to them, except for maybe prepare. I don't know what I'll do there. Prepare is always a funny thing. I'm never really exactly sure how I want to implement that until I get there. So if parent, we also want to see if parent.get target equals null, because if it is, then we need to return back to the idle state. Now this could also be useful, like, to find another target. So say one of the party members gets downed, he'll need to find another target, so we send it back to idle, and in the idle state phase, in the state logic up here, when we implement that, he'll find a new target. But also, if he does have a target, then we want to move towards the target. But this is the transition phase. So this is where we're determining how this behavior reacts. So if he's not close enough to the target, then he needs to remain in the pursue state. If he is, then he'll move up towards target. Later on, we might have him flee from the character if he's too close. But like I said, I'm not wanting to get too advanced with this. But you haven't created the function anywhere yet. Yeah, wish I was here from the beginning. To be honest, this has not been in the stream. This is a state machine from my state machine tutorial, which is right here. Like, this is not something I did on the stream. This is actual video I have. So, if I would suggest watching the state machine video at some point, at least, because I use a lot of state machines in my code. And all a state machine does is it makes it so that you can only have one state at a time. So, for example, you don't want to be in the pursue state while casting a spell, you know. I mean, you might, but you would want two different state machines for that. Like, that would be horrible, you know, just blah, 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 and then just attack your spell while you're running at them. Yeah. But yeah, it's just basically a way of organizing your code. Yeah, I would suggest it if you're going to watch any more streams. Because I use a lot of state machines in my code, especially when it comes to enemy AIs and stuff. I just find this easier and more organized. I legitimately just said organized. Oh, what's happening? So, target gets all. Else we have a target. It's an infinite amount of actions you can perform to sum it up. Not finite, excuse me, I was about to say. I don't know about infinite, but yeah, finite. Which is what that F means. Finite. Okay. So, we have a target. We need to move towards the target. Okay, so that we haven't implemented yet. So now we have to assume that we're at the target. So if parent dot is within range is, I don't like how that ambiguous that is though. Let's go at can attack. Can attack? I don't like how that either. Is within attack range. There we go. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it'll get there. Ifisms are a mouth for pretty much any game. I agree for the most part. Depends on how simple the game is though. A lot of people don't like them, but me, I think they're pretty good. So if we're within attack range, then return states dot prepare. There we go. States dot prepare. It's going to basically, for now at least, it's just going to be a timer. So if parent dot prepare timer dot is stopped, return states dot telegraph and states dot telegraph if parent dot this will be animation player based. For now, we don't have any animations, so we're just going to do. But no, we will. We'll do like a buff up animation. So we'll just say animation player dot is playing. No, we want to not. Then we return states dot cast spell. And states dot cast spell. Now, okay, for this one, he's going to do some kind of animation and throw, like that's telegraphing, and then he'll throw the fireball. Probably a bit of a pause, and then raise our title. So we'll probably have a timer for that one. So if not parent dot is attacking, return states dot pursue. I think that should be it for the logic. In range, but a script variable action is not a bad thing. If the project gets big though, yeah. In range, oh, you're talking about the trouble with that is very ambiguous. I guess you're talking about this one. Like this is very ambiguous and like as in range of what? Because we might have it for other type of ranges. Probably not for him, but hey, we never know. So, oops, let's go back to this guy here. So, let's get the logic down. States. Okay, so states the idle. We want him to find a target. We have a method for that, I believe. Pardon me a second. No? Okay. Not right now, bud. Okay, so we have in our battle character, we should have get target, set target. I guess find ideal target, get ideal target. Does that return it? Okay. All right. So all we should be able to say is parent dot set target, parent dot get ideal target. I think that's all we need to do there. And states dot pursue. We want to parent. I don't think we have this one yet, but move towards target. Wait. This might not always be the case. We might have an enemy that runs away from the target. So for consistency's sake, we're going to have a... Okay, so here's another stupid question. Is there several hitboxes on one enemy? There is not. Not on these enemies. There could be for other enemies, but I haven't done anything like that yet. Depends on what enemy you're making. But this just one hitbox for everybody for right now. Parent dot apply pursue. I don't like the apply in there because I usually use apply for applying the velocity to the character and moving them. That might get confusing, but it'll be fine. So apply pursue velocity. I think that's all we need to do with the pursue state. Just move towards the target. States dot prepare. He doesn't need to do anything to that, does he? It's just gonna sit there, to be honest. Okay, we don't need to do that. Well, states dot prepare. We're gonna have parent dot apply velocity, apply movement, which we need for everything else. States dot telegraph. Again, you don't have to do anything. In fact, he just stands. Yeah, well, he might be coming to a stop, so we'll keep it there. And then states dot telegraph. Cast spell, excuse me. We might can even combine those because I don't think they're going to do anything else. Maybe even for cast spell. Because that's cast spell is going to have all this stuff is going to have initialized stuff. So yeah, I think we can combine these. There we go. Nope. Okay. Now we need the interstates. Let's see, idle. Don't need anything for that. Pursue. Don't need any. Well, we'll need animation player when it comes time for it. Prepare. Another. Oh, we need to set our velocity to 0 as well for these. Parent dot apply stop velocity. Okay. Which we want them to come to a stop. Prepare. For example, pursue doesn't need any initializer other than animation. Prepare. It needs to set a timer because I think we're timer based on this one. Yes. So parent dot prepare attack. We need to match state. No, new state. States dot prepare. Let's do that in the battle character. Okay, so the prepare the telegraph. I just states dot telegraph. Parent dot telegraph attack. This can also be in the base character. And then cast spell. Probably just call the attack spell. States dot attack. Oh no. In fact, we should. Well, we can change it later if we want. Parents dot attack. Oops. What am I? Oh, here. There we go. All right. So the attack spell. Then we go to attack and we go back. Should be all we need for that. We just need to implement these and we should be good, I think. So get target. Like these are methods. Is within attack range. Let's get that one going. We'll go, that'll be on the battle character. Attack range. Okay. For the base, we'll say return. All right. If target. Trying to think if. Yeah, be all right. Return. False. Wait. Should never call that for the target, but just in case, we'll need to get the target too. Our target equals get target because we're going to be using this in our thing, and we don't want it to be. We don't want the target to be null, basically, in case something happens. So if target is not equal null, return false. Our displacement, we want to get the distance between the two. I would just say distance then. Distance equals target dot global position minus our global position dot length if distance is less than. Have you considered making devlogs for this game? I have, and I plan to whenever it gets far enough along. Probably, like I want to actually have something to show off before I do. But yeah, I would like to do devlogs. I don't watch a lot of devlogs, so I'll have to do some studying. So if y'all have any good devlogs that y'all know of, that you think would be inspiring for me, feel free to drop them. I would love to watch them. Anything that y'all think is interesting and nice. I've been looking at a few, try to get ideas for how I could do a devlog. Because as far as me doing a devlog, I have no idea how I want to do it. But we'll figure it out. So, is it hard to make pathfinding in Godot? No, it depends. Depends on what situations you have going on. Basic pathfinding is really easy. Yeah, DevDuck's good. And there's many different ways to do pathfinding. One that I will probably use, I tend to use, is a context-based pathfinding, where instead of using stuff like A star, which is also possible, A star is really easy. It just requires a bit of setup because you have to tell it what's passable and what's not. And then there's other stuff you have to consider, like I used to have trouble getting it to react around corners, so you'd have to get it to work with corners properly, or otherwise your character would slide up against it getting around a corner. That was really frustrating. But one of the things that I do is a context-based pathfinding system, to where instead of looking at a big picture around it, trying to find like A star, not in Godot. A star is really easy in Godot because I actually have. Give me 1 second. It's less than 666.0. We'll turn distance. It's less than. We're gonna hard code this for now, but there. So in Godot, it actually has a star, and even an A star 2D, which is even better. And this has everything you need to get to do A star. All you have to do is tell it. You have to feed it in some points, and then you just say get path, get point path. I think I said, and it'll return you an array of how to get from that point. So like, look at my battle arena here. This is a grid. And so you would tell it like this, consider all of these are potential points. Like this tile is a point, this tile is a point, this tile is a point. All of these are potential points. These are not, you don't add these, but you add these. And so you iterate through your tile group, say this is the point, this is the point, this is the point. You go through all of them, and you add these points up, and you would consider it to be centered like right here, probably. And so what you do is you tell it, give me this point from here to here, and it'll give you an array saying bloop, bloop, bloop. And then you just move your character along that path. Very simple stuff. I need to look at heart-based devlogs. I've seen some of them like just in my general passing, but nothing that I've really, I haven't gone out to look, because I've been studying some devlogs here lately. I haven't gone out to look at his, but I need to, because I've seen he's working on that Demon Lock, I believe it's called. It looks really cool. But yeah, pathfinding is really easy. But I'm probably going to be using a context-based, where instead of doing all the A-star pathfinding stuff, I'm going to look at the environment nearby. Like it'll look out around it using raycasts usually, to check for walls, check for traps, check for enemies. Now the enemies it can see afar off, but say I want him to move from here to here, like he doesn't need to know about this wall here. Usually, like it's not going to be perfect, but like he won't have to worry about that wall until he gets to the wall, at which point he'll move around the wall. Now it has issues. You can imagine a complex system, like right here, like right there. He'd hit that wall, and then he'd come around it and do all that. So it's not perfect by any means, but for basic AI, it's actually really easy to implement. It works really good, and it's not computationally intensive. And I think it looks really nice. And I think you can see it being used in other games. I've seen it, similar stuff like that. Okay. But anyhow, back to work. That's a long enough tangent, I suppose. So, what were we doing? Mage. Get target. We were doing the range. Correct. Correct. So battle character. So is within range. We're doing a hard code here. We're not going to do that. Maybe. I don't want to have a variable for it because the range is dependent on. Yeah. It was something I seen. Like I didn't invent the concept of it. It's something I seen in an article somewhere. Somebody used it. Like it was. They said they used it in the professional industry. Like they used it for stuff like racing games and stuff like that. I will be making all the art myself. Yes. It was really cool because another pathfinding technique. It's not really a pathfinding technique, but like it's kind of what I'm using here. It's called Boids. I don't know if you've ever heard of Boids, but basically like, where's my battle scene? There. You basically, I was doing this earlier to where you have, say I have a wall here and I want to move towards this guy, but I detect that there's a wall there. I would move this way. Like I would tell it, move this way, but also move this way. And so if it gets too close to that wall, he'll move away from the wall. Trouble with that is if there's a wall between you, and so you're saying move this way to get to the guy, but move this way to get away from the wall, and it sort of cancels each other out. It's the issue with that one, so I don't like Boyd behavior. The context behavior, it's different in that it says, instead of averaging all that stuff together, it's more of a possible move options. So say I want to move this way, but this way is blocked. I can't move this way, but I can move that way. And so that's what happens is he goes, okay, I can move that way. So he moves around it. Check again, he can move this way now. And so he goes around the wall. Is there a specific name for it? I couldn't find anything on I don't know. I've only seen one article on it. I will look and try to find it for you. I may have bookmarked it, but remind me. I don't know if you have to get on my Discord or anything, but I will. Let me make a note of it right quick. Find. There. Made a quick note. And I will try to do that. If you're in my Discord, let me know, and I can contact you about it. Okay, so back to the mage. And then the battle character, we're doing the range. Now, the range, I don't like hard coding it. I don't want to add a variable for it either because the range might be different. We'll do it. Now, 16 is big. We have 24 tiles. Yeah, it's fine. 16 should be fine. Maybe. Probably. Let's go 12. Okay. Now, for the mage himself, though, the mage is going to have a different range. I will break down and we'll do it. I don't like it, but we'll do it. Export var attack range equals 12.0. Thank you. You're welcome, bud. Nice. Attack range. We'll fix this later if we need to. Because I'm guaranteed we're going to have to do some other fancy thing for it. Is there a way to remove the diagonals from A star? I remember trying to do that and I couldn't come up with a way. The diagonals. Do you mean the navigation node? Because I think with A star, it doesn't do diagonals by default. Almost certain it doesn't. Now the navigation 2D node is a different story. And I think they have a method for something like that. I don't to be honest, I'm not too big on the navigation node. I tried it once and wasn't keen. Let's see. But I'm pretty sure A star doesn't do diagonals by default because it's not strictly tile based. It's node based. So like, say, this will be a terrible example, but say I had a character here. Like, you define the characters that you used. And so I could have a point here, a point here, a point here, and I could use A star to find the nearest point, like the easiest way to get to these. Like it's not tile based, it's actually like node based. So there would be no corner between these, if that makes sense. So it's not a thing it does. Oh, I don't know what diagonals you're talking about, because I've never seen it use diagonals. I would have to look. I'm almost certain. I've never had an issue with diagonals. Let's see. And oh, I mean, he might have added diagonals himself in that tutorial. What I tend to do with A star is I'll have a draw command draw at the points. You might want to do that and see where they're drawing the points to. But it's possible. Now, I don't know. Yeah, that's one of the tricky things with pathfinding is getting around walls. Something you can get caught up on trying to do it right. It's weird. Let's see. But I'm pretty sure A star doesn't cut corners intentionally. It's not a thing. It doesn't make sense for it to. So there, attack range. We are good. So let's open up our mage character. We're going to have to set his attack range. Let's see. 24 is one tile. Let's say he can attack within... How much tiles do we have here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's say 8 tiles. Yeah, I did that too, and it was drawing diagonals. If that's true, then I guarantee he was connecting the diagonals with the points. So it wasn't A star, it was the algorithm you're using for adding points or connecting points together. Okay, so mage. So 12. Let's see, 28 times 24. Good. Now, if he's within that range, so we are theoretically, okay, we're in the, so if we have a target and they're within the attack range, we go to prepare a timer. Add a timer. Let's say 0.8 for now. One shot. Now, what did I call that in the script? Prepare timer. It's good enough. Do I not have a mage script? Oh, no, I don't need one for now. He will need one for when we do the attack, though, because his attack will be different from everybody else. So, export var, no, not export, onReady. onReady var prepare timer equals preparation. Okay. If prepare timer stopped, which we did start, correct. Are you a software no. I was doing game development for Transmogrify, but I haven't been getting work from them as I'm unemployed at the moment. Software was something that never really interested me. Like, I enjoyed the game programming part, but as far as like regular programming, meh. So I don't know what I'll do. Let's see. Pair timer, stop, pair, state, stop, telegraph. We have our telegraph here, we're going to telegraph attack, which we haven't implemented yet. Do we do? Yeah, because we could have, anybody could telegraph an attack. For now, we're just going to say, do we have an, Let's see. Turn on subtitles. Not letting me. Alright, so telegraph. Okay, we have the battle character. Damage animator. We don't have a basic animation player for everybody. I have been letting everyone have their own animation player. Okay. I think we'll cache it here. Let's try this. I don't know if this will work. Mission player equals get node or null. Animation player. YouTube does live speech text for streaming subtitles. I mean, they're owned by Google, so I don't know why it surprises me that they have tech for that. Yeah, I mean, but my first thought was like it's probably garbage, to be honest. Like YouTube is not known for having good subtitles. Like I can't imagine how bad live subtitles would be. There's an option for it. It says there's a toggle button for closed caption though. It's grayed out for whatever reason. Hola, howdy howdy. Alright, so telegraph attack, animation player. If animation player not equal to null, then animation, whoops. Don't tell me I did that up there too. Animation player dot play telegraph. I need to make sure I also have the telegraph command. Animation player dot has like. Let me cast this right quick. Because I don't remember the name of this method. Has animation. Okay, that's what I figured. Telegraph. Good. So, animation players not has a telegraph. Should be all we need to do for that, I would think. So, we telegraph attack, then we have the attack method. I think we also have, no, I don't think we do. We don't have an attack method. There is not going to be a default attack method. We're going to add a virtual method for it, though. Think of how complex it must be to train an AI to make subtitles, though. Even dealing with just waveform data, you have to reasonably account for uncommon words and accents. Oh yeah, I can't imagine. Especially me, I get comments on my accent a lot. I imagine it would be difficult, especially if you ever seen them Cajun accents. They're really, really thick. It's a word. I feel like that's a bad word for that. They're very strong accents. In my experience, I don't know many Cajuns though. I could be completely wrong. Let's see. Attack. Yeah, we just have a virtual method. I believe that's what that's called. All right. Okay. What else do we need? Oh, we need the is attacking method, which I think will also be virtual. I feel like that's the wrong word for that, though. I don't know. I was in Louisiana after a hurricane, and a man talked to me for 5 minutes, and I understood 3 words. It's something else, man. No. Arthur, you are a tough guy. Who is Arthur? Arthur. Unless you mean me. I'm a tough guy? How you figure I'm a tough guy? Okay, so what do I need that? Why is that not in there? I don't know. Stub. Not a stub. No, stub is, I believe that means that you intend to add code to it later. I don't intend to add code to these. These will not be implemented in here. They're meant to be implemented outside of here. They're just called to prevent errors and stuff. Or they're created to prevent errors. Let's see. Because there's no one attack style. Like everybody will have their own attacks, like function attack. And then him for attacking. Probably create a fireball. We'll have to aim it at the target. Yeah, we'll just do a simple fireball. So we're going to pass on that for now. That's the code stub. And then fireball. There. I want a sprite. It's a very big one though. Scale. Let's go 0.2. Yeah. Should be fine. Then we won't damage area. Now for now, this will only be enemies. We have this thing here. So it's only going to be a player hazard. Ooh, the player will be able to cast fireballs as well. But for now, for simplicity's sake, that's not a thing. Okay. Now. Set a script. The way this is going to work, in fact, I might make this a kinematic body. Is they're going to throw it out, it'll bounce off of walls, and if it hits a player, it will disperse. And if it hits a wall, let's say 3 times, it'll disperse. This could be, I'm curious as to how crazy this will be with several of enemies throwing these around. But we'll balance that out later. So, fireball. Now, when the mage casts this, he's going to cast it. He's going to tell it which direction to go. It'll set its own speed and everything else. So, velocity vector 2. We're going to have a physics process. We'll pass on that for now. We'll have set direction, I feel like. Well, something I think would be cool to have, maybe not right now, would be like an arching shot, and it go around towards the player to an arch. I think that would be interesting. For now, we're just going to go straight at the player. Okay, so set direction. This will need to take in a vector 2. Not normal. Is normalized. We're going to push an error just to be safe. Else we're good to go. We can just set, we need a speed. Equals, nothing too fast, nothing too slow. 4 times 24, I think. So we'll say velocity equals normal times speed. I think that's all we need to do. Okay, so function, no, var collision equals move and collide. Need to switch this. There. Move and collide, velocity times delta. I think that's all we got to do for that. GMTK and JWD starts in a few days. Nice. Global World Jam. I thought they had just finished theirs. Unless they do a multi-year. I don't know. It seemed like not long ago they started one. Yeah, GMTK, a few days. Are they overlapping? That's not good. I don't know if I'll be joining though. We'll have to, if the theme is inspiring enough, I will. But I kind of want to work on this more, rather than working on a jam for a few days and then getting distracted. But I mean, it's only a couple of days. I suppose it wouldn't be too bad. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I'll see what the theme is. Godot Wild Jam. What is the other one? Did I get the other one right though? Or is it just Global Jam? Global World Jam don't make sense at all. Why did I say that? Oh man. That's funny. Yeah, Godot Wild Jam. Yeah, they start every month. So that makes sense. Or the Global Game Jam. GGJ. Yeah, I think it's that one. Okay. GWJ is a 9-day jam every month. Yeah. I have been wanting to participate in one, but every time I try to, I end up not. I was going to do the one, but I think the theme was revolution, and that was probably the least inspiring jam theme that I've ever seen. So I want to catch another one at some point. Is it 9 days though? I didn't know it was 9 days. I thought it was 2 weeks. Okay. But a jam like that would be good to stream. Like, I don't see how people stream the GMTKs and stuff like that. The really quick jams, because like streaming is so distracting. It's hard to really focus on coding. Like, I'm very slow at coding when I do these streams because it's a very distracting environment, and I don't see how people do it. Especially with a more active chat. They are a day apart. GMTK 4 days, and GWJ is 3 days. So that means GMTK only cuts out 3 days from the Godot jam. So I mean, you could do both if you don't mind having 3 days cut out of. Well, no, you could start it, right? Yeah, you could start the first day and then switch. So that would only be 2 days. And then me personally, whenever I'm doing jams, I use the first day for ideas anyhow. Assuming it's not a whole day. But usually, like, if they start at nighttime, I'll spend that night working on ideas. And then the next couple of days doing the actual jam itself. So that wouldn't be too bad. Collision, there we go. If collision, no. Var bounces equals 0. Constant max bounces equals 3. I think we're gonna go with. Collision is not equal null, then velocity equals velocity dot bounce collision dot normal. I think that's all we need for that. And then bounce plus equals 1. If bounce is greater than or equal to max bounces, then destroy. We could just do that here. That'll save whatever little bit that costs. Destroy. And then we'll just queue free for now. We'll throw in a to-do, do animation later. All right. So that'll be for the bouncing. That will work. So that should be all we need for that. We need a body. Do we do a regular? No. Get out of here. You don't belong here. What is this? There we go. So that'll do the bouncing, and then the damage area will need one as well. Probably just steal this one, to be honest. Yeah, ideas there, hard to come by sometimes, yeah. Yep. I'm not known for my ideas, but I've been getting better at it. The more I practice the idea process. Like even me, I'll sometimes sit down and just brainstorm out ideas knowing I'm not going to make a game on it, but it's still a good practice to do. And I find that the more I do that, the better I get at getting ideas. Like when I first started, man, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't come up with a single idea. Now I'm decent at it. So, mage, we have this mage. We have an attack method, which needs to say var fireball equals preload fireball dot instance. Now, we're just going to throw at the player directly. So var normal equals get target. I don't like assuming that we have a target. I don't like having to check this all the time either, but sometimes while in your states, like pursuing or whatever, about to attack your target, it'll die before you actually get to all that stuff. And if you're not checking all the time, you can crash your game. So before I use a target, I always like to check for the target. Target dot, and we need to check it, dot global position minus global position. So if target not equal to null, because we're using a weak reference here, and if we don't have, the target has expired, despawned, killed, or whatever you want to call it, then the get target method will return null. So that's our normal. No, but except for it hasn't been normalized, so it's not much of a normal. There it is. Now it's a normal. Now it's a normal. So, and then we fireball dot set direction normal. Yeah, okay. And then we need to add this to the world. Okay, so this character is always going to be in the battle arena. We're going to have a function add entity I'm going to change this to entities. There we go. Normal of the normal. That's pretty normal. Yep. So entities.add child entity. I like to do it this way because sometimes that stuff breaks and does weird stuff, and we'll have like expansions later on, like whether it needs to be Y-sorted or not. So we have that from our mage that I have lost track of. Oh, I didn't expand. GG. Extend the script. So we have our attack. Fireball to set normal. Set direction normal. And then globals dot battle arena add entity fireball. We need to set the fireball's global position to our global position. We're gonna have we'll set it to our fire position for now. We're gonna have like a hand position though, to where he spawns it out, so he's not spawning it at his feet. But for now, equals that global position. I find the word entity the tricky word to say. Too many T's. Usually come out as entities. It is a tricky one. Entities. I like to try to say it as fast as I can. Shit proves I'm skilled. It impresses the ladies. Let's see. Mage. Telegraph attack. We have attack. Set target, apply movement. Set pursuit, apply pursuit velocity. I don't think we have that yet. So battle character, apply movement. We'll go above here. Let's say function, apply pursue velocity. We'll do this whole dance again. Our target equals get target. If target is not equal to null, velocity equals desired velocity equals vector 2. Now, I did this already in the grunt. I just moved towards, yeah. Is that all we're going to need? Avoidance. Yeah, okay. Target equals no. We're probably going to change this later. But for now, we can just say move towards... Oh, I have two. I'm guessing one is Godot's. Move towards target dot global position. Okay. No. That sets the velocity. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. And then we need to stop velocity. It's fine for now. Velocity equals lerp. Velocity vector 2.0 get move weight. There. Okay. So what else have we got? So apply movement, apply pursuit velocity, apply stop velocity, get target. Attack range is, yes, the timer. Animation player is playing. We did that one for the prepare attack. Did we do that one? Okay, we haven't implemented it yet. Prepare attack, it has the attack timer. All we need to do is call that timer, I'm pretty sure. So we just say attack. Nope. Prepare timer. Prepare timer. Start. I'm pretty sure that's all we need. Okay. Prepare timer, telegraph attack. Pretty sure I implemented that. Alright, let's test it out. So bombarders, get rid of you. Instance child scene mage. Let's move him far away. Get children. Okay. Alright, we gotta do a thing. Here. Let's add in another Y sort. I'm pretty sure you can nest these. If I'm not mistaken. And this one will be called characters. Non-existent function, but apply movement. I could have sworn. Oh. That's going to break for all of them too. Just go ahead and fix that for everybody. All right. Maybe he's not finding. All right, buddy. What's going on with you? State is 0. Why didn't you break there? Weird. All right, so set target parent to get target. Okay. I bet we're not finding it properly. Characters. Okay. For characters and characters that get children. Okay, so this character is the mage. It's gonna skip that one. No. Ah. You, buddy, you're supposed to. Why did you do that? Bit of a weird one. Make sure you're fine here as well. Okay. Okay. So this character should be the mage. It should skip him. There we go. So nearest target is this guy. Cool. Now we're setting here. Set value. That should be our character. Okay. So our target reference. No, I guess this, yeah. All right, cool. So apply movement. Now once we get to the transitions, we should have a target. Yes. So we say target equals null. That's interesting. Pretty sure it shouldn't be. No, we haven't done that line yet. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, there's the target. Target reference. We're not returning it. There we go. Oh, it's always something. I should have done a static type on that. Okay, cool. Okay, so we fixed that. Now we got to fix the attack range. Is within attack range. Battle character is within attack range. There we go. You are. Hold on. What? Why is that? Oh, hold on. Okay, okay. So prepare telegraph stop velocity. It should be. Okay, so you're in a pursuit state. Apply. Okay. Skip this. We'll go into transition. Pursue. Get target. It's not equal null. Should skip that. Else is parent within attack range. Target. Wait, did it set for null? Yeah, there you go. There you go. He's being a funny one. Apply pursuit velocity. It's within attack range. It looked like it was counting him as null. Or am I looking at that wrong? Here, let's do that. Yeah. Target. Oh, wait. Ah. Terrible. That was just awful. Jeez. The dumbest mistake I've ever made. Okay. Now you're doing something different. You got really close there. I bet you're gonna arrange it. Okay. Can you use vector 2's distance 2? Yes. It's the same thing though. I think it looks cleaner looking using this way. I'm not too keen on that. Like, I don't know. It's the same thing though, I'm pretty sure. That should be good. We just need to set his. And I was using that way long before I seen the distance too. And it's just one of those things I'm stuck with. So, attack range. Could have sworn I set this. Because I did the whole 8 times 24 thing. 92. I remember doing that. He's very fast too. Okay, non-existent is attacking. Oh, we didn't implement that. So, I think we didn't either. Because it wouldn't have crashed. Is attack. Oh, we started to, but got it wrong. There we go. I don't like that, but I should probably push in an error. Has not been implemented. I mean, either way is legit, I guess. It's all about preference. Yeah. There's a million ways to do a thing. Let's see. Am I ready for this? Dun 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 dun. Mage, right. Function is attacking. For us, we're probably gonna have a timer. Later on it'll be an animation. He'll be like boom 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 with the animation. Okay, we'll do an animation. So return not animation player dot is playing. We'll just have a blank animation for now. Hey man, didn't realize you were live. Hey, yeah, been live for about 3.5, well, 3 hours now because I did the first half an hour by myself. Howdy, Tom. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. So animation player is playing. We're going to have the mage with his animation player. Did we include an animation player? Where did I do that? Oh. Damage. Probably should steal that. Bring it here. I didn't know that was on the enemy class. I don't want it there. I think that should work. I never liked doing that, but it seems like Godot fixed that. Used to, you'd get 2 nodes of the same name, and it would break stuff. But it seems to be fixed, I think. So good. So, animation player. We're going to have a new, attack animation. Short but sweet, probably 0.4 seconds long. Should play that animation when we go do our thing. Do we do that in the script here? New state, prepare attack, cast spell attack. We have the mage with the attack thing, creates the fireball, but it does not do this. Okay. Animation.player.play. Now we're going to have different attacks for this guy, so we'll have different animations, but for now we're going to play a generic attack animation. See what that does. There we go. Ooh, okay. Getting there. I don't know why he's doing the boot scoot and boogie after he attacks. Okay, because he goes back into the pursue state. Maybe we don't have him move if he's within attack range. I think that could be the case for a lot of stuff, because that'll be an issue probably later. It's funny that I've never encountered that issue. That is weird. Maybe I'm doing something different than I usually do. Okay, so if not parent.is within attack range, then we'll do the movement. Else dot apply stop velocity. See what that does. Okay, cool. Now we just check, see that these bounce off of walls. That one should bounce. Okay. That is pretty hectic. Alright, we'll probably slow that down a little bit. But the basic implementation is down. We just need to destroy the fireball whenever it attacks something. With my hitboxes, damage areas, I have a method to detect when something is attacked. So it should be as simple as connecting that up to it. So fireball. I must have closed it at some point. So damage area, got this silly sounding signal. Just connect it to our script here and destroy. We'll probably later on have a parameter we throw in there with the 2 different animations that we play. So you have like a destroy on the wall, destroy on the player. Let's see what that does. He is very fast though. Yeah. So that's that. It pushes the player back. I'm guessing, oh, it's not back, of course. I was sitting there thinking it was a solid dot thing, but no. Okay. Okay. We should also do the, just a placeholder telegraph spell, or the animation. So we'll add in another animation, telegraph. And all we're going to do is scale him up. So we'll keep him. Yeah, we'll just do a sprite. Now his sprite, the origin, it's up at his head. We don't want it there. No, we wanted it at his feet. He is 16 tall, or 32 tall. So 16, negative 16. And then I'll have to subtract that. And then, when we do our telegraph, all we got to do is transform scale. Let's go up a little bit. We'll go like 1.5. It's a little trick I like to do for temporary placeholders for telegraphing. And we do this twice, or however many times you want to do it. And this tells me that he's about to attack. It's not meant for the player, but you can keep it as a player. If you'll notice, a lot of my gems, I don't take the time to pause to the wall. That's good. Oh, you're not supposed to do that, though. But yeah. It tells me when he's about to attack. But if you'll notice my game's gems, I tend to keep it in there because, I mean, it works. It serves its purpose. And so, but as, final game, we'll change it to something proper, like a proper animation. All right. So we have that. Is there anything else I want to implement while I'm here? Let's try, we're going to slow it down at first. So let's try, now that we have 2 enemies, let's try spicing this combat up a little bit. We also want to slow him down. He is crazy fast. He is as fast as I am, which can't be good. Okay. So we'll add in a grunt now. That'll do the charging. We'll see what this feels like. Okay, so that's a little hectic, a little fast-paced. We're going to slow it down, though. Let me think. What would be the way to we would slow down it with the preparation timer would be the way I would do it, probably. So, attack preparation. Let's double it and see what happens. Now, you notice they're attacking at the same time. That's because they sort of come at me at the same time. We're going to probably want to add a little bit of randomization to that. Let's do that. So, when we telegraph, I think we have a command for telegraphing. Telegraph attack. We want to prepare attack. Okay. So, for the mage, we're going to override this because I may not want to do this for everybody. But for the mage, we're going to prepare base prepare time equals, what are we doing now? We're doing 1.6. Might even bump it up a little more, maybe. We'll see. So base prepare time plus round range negative, and we'll have how much we want to offset it by. So 0.3. And that should be good. That's alright. That ain't too bad. Okay. Might increase the range more. It still seemed a little too predictable. Let's go to 0.6. Seems a little quick, but I think it'll be alright. Okay. That seemed good. I like it. I like it. Okay. I think that's good enough for our prototype. I don't think we really need a third one for now. We could probably move on to getting other topics prototyped. Let me try these abilities out with them. See if I can remember which ones I have. I don't think I have the other ones. Yeah, because that's... Alright, let me change that around a bit. Playable character. Let's see. Let's go. That one. Let's get rid of this one. I'll set you as A for now. A is not bound, so well, it's not actually in the game. So we've got the whirlwind and the jab, which is broken for somehow. Also, it's not damaging, so it's broken twice. Awesome. And that one too. Maybe I think I know why. Because I'm not setting... Yeah, I got to set the collision box on these. So if we say collision dot disabled equals false, then we need to tell it off, which we do by tween dot interpolate. Again, I don't know why it's not auto-completing this for me. So collision, I believe duration, which it would be delay plus 0.2, and then the method, which would be set disabled true. We'll have to do that for flurry as well. I guess just delay, looks like. Yeah, okay. We also need to do it for that one, but yeah. You got the correct scene selected for... Oh, yeah. Man. Yeah, you are. I even said this last time. I said it last time. I was like, that's why. And then I always forget. Thanks for looking out, bud. I've already got it now, though. So this ain't going to do me no good. I mean, I wasn't putting you down. Just, I'll have to remember that next time. But then again, I won't. Guarantee I won't. But yeah, thank you. Silly me, silly me. Let's see. Call back. I think I did it. Oh, we need to disable it. Disabled. There. There we go. You know what? I might use space as dodge. Oh, what's that? Why was that not hitting? I'll have to probably something to do with that. Alright, so yeah, let's try space for dodged. If so, that would allow me to free up my keybinds again for the other one. Still not sold on using that method, but we'll see how that works out. I did the same thing for the longest until I figured out that's fine. Yeah, it gets me every time. Like it used to get me for a while. I figured it out. Like it didn't take me too long to figure it out. But then every time it happens, I always forget. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on? And this has happened to me like 20 times at least. And jeez, I don't know. I always forget though. Like you've seen it right there. I was completely clueless as to why. It's a funny one. Oh. Do we need... I'm going to keep that just in case, because I don't know what that does. Oh, I need to fix the flurry thing. I think it's the sprite's rotation. Finally got it stuck in my head now, so second nature. Nice. I wish you would do that for me, bud. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it is pivot. The pivot's rotation. Uh. Hmm. Okay, but we'll have to switch it back, I'm sure. So flurry, rotation equals 0, pivot dot rotation equals 0. Okay, but yeah, so the pivot's rotation is back off, so we'll have to fix that afterwards, which is as simple as this, I think. Okay. So flurry tween dot interpolate. Wait, let me do it. We're gonna do it this time. There we go. Tween dot interpolate. Callback. Pivot. No. Yes. Delay. Another way I got used to it is I use the script icon in the scene tabs and then select the scripts that way. Does that work? Wait. Oh, you mean like that right there? Got you. Yeah. That is a good idea. Me, the way I switch scene is my scripts is that, and I don't know why I got to that one. I guess I don't even remember how I got to this script. Duration, callback, set, rotation. We'll probably put this guy up there with that guy. That's where it belongs. That should hopefully fix that. So, boom. Wait, do you switch back and forth? Was not okay. That's not the right way. It's the other one, which would be a non-negative. It's an option. Wait, see another. It's an option to turn on in the settings. Another way, you see the script icon in the scene tab. It puts an icon near the. Oh, a little script icon up here. Have I seen that? That sounds familiar. Okay, so that and back. Okay, I think it. Okay, I don't think I'm setting my other rotation back. Am I? I could have sworn I've seen it. No, I'm not setting it proper. Okay, I don't think. Am I not? Weird. There we go. Let's grab this guy and put it here. Nice. Okay, so put wrong one. Okay, that looks right. I wonder, probably not possible, yeah. Now we should also check. Okay, cool. These, if you noticed, they were still attacking, despite being too. They were. You may not have noticed it, but cause you can't really see it. But if we have it to where they have to be within a range to attack, however, if they enter the prepared state and then the telegraph state and the attack state, and in that period of time you move out of their range, they're not in the range to attack, but they still go through the attack process. We may not want to do it for all of them. Maybe the preparation, we can cancel their preparation, and then switch back to idle, not idle, but pursue, maybe. Yeah, I think I've seen it before. This is editor settings. Does the yeah. I don't see it. Am I thinking of something else? Oh, show type icons. What? No. Oh, that's, never mind. That's the wrong one. Editor setting interface. I hate searching through here. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. I'll look at it later. Okay. Okay. I think. Let's go look at this again. Oh yeah, we need to fix their behavior. Because like I go all the way out here, they're still going to attack. They also, bullets also move as fast as they do. That's weird. I have to do something with that. Yeah, it's good for now. I'll add a note. But we'll have to cancel out all the other stuff that was going on, and I'll take a look at that later. Okay, so now another thing I want to do right quick while I'm thinking about it is I want to increase the size of this sword whenever we do that. So let's do that right quick. So it's in the whirlwind here. So we cock it back and then we sling it forward. I believe that's what this one is. So tween dot interpolate property. I'm going to say pivot. I don't think we want to do it to all of them. Maybe. We'll see. Where is pivot? Yeah, it should be fine. So pivot scale. 2.1 vector 2.1 times 1.5. Let's go big. Let's go 2.0. 0.1 sine and in out. Okay, so that's going to scale it up. Let's just make sure that works as intended. We'll just have to scale it back down afterwards. Might be a little too soon. Let's get the scaling down going and we'll tweak it. So then we do the interpolate proper, we do all this spinning, and this is to reset, I believe. So we'll do it here. We'll say tween dot interpolate property pivot scale vector 2 dot times 2.0. I should put that in its own variable in case we want to change it later. Dot 1. 0.1. We'll do that again. And then with this delay. Oh wait, that's probably why it was too quick. I don't think we had the delay here. Cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this a constant. constant whirlwind scale equals 2.0. Yeah. No. So we'll go ahead and do it here. Makes no sense not to. There. So pivot scale. This guy right here. And this guy right here. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Nice. I like it. Now these mages we'll give them some other spells too. I'm not sure what yet, but yeah. That's pretty good. I like it. That's actually I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, I guess where I'm going to end this stream. We got a good bit done today. We added some enemies, or added some different behaviors for the enemies, added some new attacks, sorted some of this the abilities out, added our dodge, and not too bad. And the combat feels pretty good now. So I appreciate y'all for dropping into the stream, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. And y'all take it easy.